Yo, let me walk you through the embroidery process on how I created this hat right here. What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brandoh, and today we're gonna be talking all about embroidery. More importantly, I wanna walk you guys through the full process of getting your file digitized, what it means to get something digitized, what it looks like, how to set the embroidery machine up. The full start to finish process is something I wanna walk you guys through. We're gonna go through everything from stitching the hat, the foam, how I lock the foam down, how I clean the hat up after, and get it ready for retail. Now to start this whole thing off, the machine I use is the Ricoma MT-1501. This is one of their older commercial machines. It's a single head machine with 15 needles. Having 15 needles, meaning you could put 15 different spools of thread into this machine. So 1501, 15 needles, one head. One head, meaning there's only one place for that thing to embroider. I'm pretty sure you've seen videos of multi-heads. This is just a single head. That's how I make stuff like this, the hats that I sell in my retail store. I use this machine for everything. Now let's break down this hat right here. This is a 5-panel A-frame corduroy hat. This is a structured cap. Structured meaning that this right here, the front part, is rigid. If it was unstructured, it just collapses in, kind of like the back. This is unstructured in the back, structured in the front. This is an A-frame hat, meaning it comes up to a point, 5-panel. This is one panel, this is another panel, this is another panel, this is another panel, and this is the last panel. So 5-panel, A-frame, structured hat. This is made out of corduroy, but you guys seen hats made out of acrylic and wool and cotton and polyester. This one right here is corduroy. But now let's talk about the embroidery. So the embroidery on this hat right here is what they call 3D puff or 3D. Now let's talk about the design and then how to send it to the digitizer and all that good stuff. All right, so when you send your design to the digitizer, this is you sending your vector file, your PNG file, your Photoshop file, whatever you design in, and you send it to the digitizer. You do it in whatever format they ask for. So if they're cool with, like I said, Photoshop files or Illustrator files or just a PNG, whatever it is, I usually send them a vector file because I want everything to be kind of streamlined for them. But this is how you get it back. So they're gonna send you a folder that has a PDF file, a PNG of what it's gonna look like. This is what it's gonna look like. So here's the digital file of what it's gonna look like, basically what it looks like with the thread, puff, all that good stuff. After that, they're gonna send you a DST file. The DST file is what you're gonna send to the embroidery machine. So before you bring that DST file to your embroidery machine, you're gonna wanna look at the PDF file that they send you. This is basically giving you every single detail about this job. How many stitches are in there, how many times the machine stops, what's the size up here, how many colors, all that good stuff. So here's what the stitch is gonna look like on the hat. Then you're gonna scroll down here, and here's the production sheet. This is gonna tell you how many colors, how many stops, gives you all the information inside of here, how many stitches. This LA design is 5,463 stitches, and then it's gonna do basically one stop. So it's 2 different colors, and I'll show you why it's 2 different colors right now. So the colors don't really matter. You're gonna tell the machine what colors you want it to be, so this is just the way that they lay it out for you. And then in actual production, this is what it's gonna look like. So for me, what I do is I lay down the foam first. It's gonna do an overstitch of just locking the foam in place. So it's basically just outlining the design and then it's locking the foam in place. So what I do is I put tape on the foam right when I load the hat on. I press start, and then this is basically gonna outline the whole design onto the foam, and then the machine's gonna stop, switch colors if you choose to switch colors, and then it's gonna lay the overstitch over the foam to create that puff look, if that makes any sense. So the reason it says sky blue and emerald black is sky blue is the lockdown stitch. That's basically locking the foam in place, or the base stitch, and then it's gonna go into the actual overstitch of whatever color I choose. So this is what it's gonna look like. Once again, this PDF file is everything for you, so you know how to actually run your hat. 5,463 stitches. The height is 2.36, width is 2.33. And then you have this base stitch right here that's gonna go, it's gonna lay down 476 stitches. Machine's gonna stop, and then it's gonna go into the overstitch, which is 5,461. So let me show you what that looks like on the actual machine. All right, so when you're getting ready to actually embroider the hat, the first thing you have to do is hoop the hat. So when it comes to hooping the hat, something that I like to do is I like to pull the sweatband out, fold it inside out, and then I try to put the sweatband underneath that little lip. Once I have it in place and it looks pretty good, there's also a little line on that lip to try to line up the center of the hat with the actual hoop. I put my left hand down and I like to hold it in place as I pull the band over, and I put it right at the edge of the bill to lock it in place. There's little claws on the edge of that band, so it really clamps down into the hat to keep it from moving around. So once I have it locked into place, now I'm ready to load it into the machine. Loading it into the machine is pretty easy. All you're doing is kind of giving it a half spin to get it underneath the embroidery machine, get it into place, and then it locks in place. You'll hear the clicks. Now, once the clicks are in place, it's time to put the foam down. I use 3mm foam, and I like to use tape to hold the foam in place. So what I try to do is center up the hat. If I need to make minor adjustments, I'll use the arrows on the machine to just go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right to where it looks dead center. Lock down with the tape, then I press start on the machine to lay down that first base stitch. So while the base stitch is actually running, this is basically outlining the design, locking that foam down so it doesn't move around. And when it's done laying down that base stitch, you really don't need the tape anymore. So what I tend to do is pull the tape off, save the tape on the side so I can use it for the next hat. So that way I'm not wasting a lot of tape. And then once that base stitch is done, then it starts the overstitch. As the overstitch is going, it's just starting to go over the foam to create that puff look. Now, me personally, I'm running this hat at 500 stitches a minute. The machine can do 1,000 stitches a minute, but for the sake of the video, I'm running it a little slower so you could see the process. So roughly on average, it'll take about 5 to 7 minutes to run one of these hats. At this setting right here at 500 stitches a minute, it'll be closer to like 10 minutes. Now, when the hat's done, to release the hoop, you press the 3 levers, it'll pop out, you spin the hat again exactly like the way you put it in, and you're ready to hoop the next hat. Now let's clean this one up. All right, so this is how we clean the hat up. Things you're gonna need: heat gun. This is cheap Black & Decker one. You could get this off of Amazon. A pair of tweezers, and then your hat. So this is the 3mm foam that's on there. All you're gonna do is just peel this up, because what the stitches did was it stitched all the way around this on top of the foam. So it basically like perforates the foam so you could just peel it all up. There you go. Now what you have is you have a lot of foam still stuck on the inside that you didn't pull up off of that big sheet. So you just take your tweezers, go in there, and you just basically work it out of there. Boom. So here's a little close-up of what it looks like when it comes off the machine. Looks a little rough. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the heat gun, we're gonna apply some heat on there, and then as we apply the heat, it's gonna tighten up all the stitching and all the thread and really tighten up around that foam to give it that clean retail look. So now let me plug in the heat gun, get it going. Here's the heat gun, we got it plugged up, turn it on, and you're just gonna go back and forth over the hat. You're not gonna go close to the hat to where it's burning it. You're also not gonna leave it in one place, because if you just leave it on one spot of the hat, it's gonna end up melting the hat, burning it, burning even the threads. So you just wanna go back and forth like this, tighten up those threads, tighten up the foam, and really clean this thing up. Back and forth, up and down, done. So this is what it looks like completed. Hopefully the camera's in focus and picking this up. This is how you do 3D puff embroidery using your Ricoma MT-1501 embroidery machine. All right, that's a start to finish on how I do puff on hats. Hopefully this makes sense to somebody that's trying to get into embroidery and you were curious about the digitizing and how you get it to the machine and what's the digitizing for, all that good stuff. Basically breaks down to the digitizing software tells the machine how many stitches to lay down for the proper coverage. There's a lot of different digitizing softwares out there. The one that Ricoma offers is called Chroma, but it is a whole software that you have to learn. For me, I just never had the time to actually learn it, to digitize my own stuff. So it's easier for me to just send it out and outsource all my digitizing. Now, the next question is going to be, well, who do you use for a digitizer? I use everybody on Google. I know there's a lot of digitizers out there, and I know there's a lot of graphic designers out there that can digitize, and I see it in my comments all the time. But for me, it's easier for me to just jump on Google real quick and get instant quotes on certain designs, because all designs are not the same. There's simple designs, there's very detailed designs. Sometimes I might need something that has a whole lot of detail in it, and maybe it might be like a 10 color, 13 color job versus something like this that's a simple design and it's just all single color. So I jump on Google and see who can do these things for me. I also look into turnaround time, who could turn it around the fastest for me if I'm doing a rush job. Sometimes every job isn't a rush job, so I'm not in a hurry for it. And then price is a factor. I'm trying to see who could do it for $10, who could do it for $5, depending on the job. So these are the things that I look for when I'm actually looking for a digitizer on Google. I've basically used almost every digitizer on the first page. You don't have to just use one. I know a lot of digitizers be like, man, I'll do it for you, blah, blah, blah. I'll be the guy for you. That's cool, but I like to have options. What if that guy's sick? What if that guy's down? What if he's busy and he can't get to my job? I need to have options as the business owner to make sure I can still get the job done in time. So that's why I said I use everybody that's on Google. I know a lot of people like, just tell me who you use. Google digitizing services, all digitizers on that first page I've used with no issues. They all charge a little bit different. They all have different processing times and turnaround times. Some are better at detailed stuff, some are better at simple stuff, some are good all around digitizers. It just all depends on what the job calls out for. Now you might have seen my side hit and you're like, yo, you didn't even embroider that. How come you didn't show this process? This right here, I pre-do on all my hats before I do this part. So every time I get blank hats in, I throw them in and I stitch this on right away. This is the very first thing. I didn't have a need to stitch any more of these up, so I didn't break the camera out to actually show this process right here, but it's very simple. This design right here only has, I think, like 700 stitches in there total. So it goes pretty quick, but this is just flat stitch. I use stabilizer right here because this part of the hat is not structured. It's very thin and flimsy. So I put stabilizer in the back. Now, the last question is gonna be like, yo, where'd you get that blank hat from? These hats right here are a custom hat that I've been working on to try to get right for myself so I could offer it. I'm wearing one here. If you see me at the Impressions Expo, I was wearing this hat also. Just really locking down these hats so I can offer it for retail. Just something custom that I was working on. Obviously, it's full corduroy all the way around. No branding except for my logo right there and this little sticker. And this will probably be the last question is, yo, where can I get some stickers like this done? You could just Google search foil stickers, holographic stickers, and you could get those done. A lot of people like to use the circle stickers that kind of look like the new Arrow ones. Those are metallic stickers or foil. You would just have to pick the color that you want to use. This one right here is a holographic sticker and printed in color also. I didn't order these. I have access to a sticker printer to get these done. So it's not like I placed the order online and said, yo, I need, 10,000 of these. But I do know when you order these, it is cheaper to order them in big bulk. Like if you're just gonna order hundreds, it's really expensive, especially the holographic stuff, foil, metallic stuff, very, very, very expensive. So if you're looking for this, Google search custom holographic stickers, custom foil stickers, and then a bunch of people will pop up that can print them for you. And this sticker is about 2 inches by 2 inches, if you cared about that. I know a lot of people wanna know the exact sizes of stuff. This is just 2 inches by 2 inches. If you want to do squares, circles, rectangles, I know people do ovals, people do all kind of different stuff. There's no standard when it comes to these stickers right here. It just basically says made by Big Brandoh, has a little cartoon version of myself, and then it has my website on the bottom. And then I have a little red border around there. It's me wearing basically a hat that has this logo on it, on the front of the hat, me with my arms crossed up, that's what it is. All right, if you have any questions about anything that you've seen in this video right here, if you were looking into getting an embroidery machine yourself, first thing I would do is do a lot of research on the different brands that are out there. I use the Ricoma machine because I like Ricoma's customer service. If that's something you're big on, then I would highly check out Ricoma. I'll leave the link for them down below. They're always running sales. They're always running deals, and they make dope machines for people that are running home businesses. So if you're limited on space and you just wanted to run this out of your house, maybe in your living room or your bedroom or your garage or basement or what have you, they make dope machines. The homie Ken from I Can Do It Studios runs his out of his room. He lives in a condo with no issues whatsoever. I know a lot of people that use these machines use them in their garage or their room, so it is home business friendly. And all you do is just plug it into your regular standard outlet. When it comes to foam, 3mm foam, I get mine off of Amazon. All you have to do is type in 3mm foam on Amazon and it'll pop up. You could put 3mm embroidery foam if you wanted to, or craft foam, whatever you wanted to. You could find it on there. There's a lot of different vendors. You can see what prices are what, and then you can just order whatever fits your budget. But outside of any of that, if you still have questions, make sure you leave it in the comments for me. You can follow me on Instagram, Big Brandoh TV. That's where you could see me using my embroidery machine, making hats, doing all that good stuff. All right, catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.